from the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
Just about 7 o'clock on this Saturday, January 6th. Good morning. I'm Devin Fehely.
And I'm Neda Iranpour. Recreational marijuana sales begin today in San Francisco, 5 days after the new state law went into effect. But dozens of businesses, they're still waiting for that green light. The first 6 businesses finally got city and state approval to start selling pot today. That includes the Apothecarium that's in the Castro, and it is one of 31 businesses that had waited for this okay. The Apothecarium says doors will open today, 9 a.m., so in the next couple hours. City also gave approval to 5 other dispensaries, but the state still had to sign off on its end of the deal, which did not come until last night. San Francisco late to that pot party. Last month, the Board of Supervisors voted to push back sales from January 1st to the 6th, but the city's still processing much of the paperwork.
Now, meanwhile, a public service announcement that was supposed to deter people from driving stoned has been pulled off the air.
It gets me going.
I don't drive.
I don't drive.
I never drive high. DUI.
The PSA was sponsored by the California Office of Traffic Safety, but critics argued that the first part of it was a little too pro-pot, so the agency killed it. And one more note, a state lawmaker is fighting back against U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Democratic Assemblyman Reggie Jones-Sawyer of Los Angeles is reintroducing a proposal to make California a sanctuary state for marijuana.
After a year of deadly wildfires, destructive floods, state officials are pushing for better emergency alerts. The North Bay wildfires left more than 40 people dead, and they were the most destructive fires in California's history. Now, North Bay State Senator Mike McGuire just introduced legislation requiring every county to adopt wireless emergency systems. The bill would also streamline communication between the state and counties after any disaster strikes.
More than 40 of America's biggest tech companies are suing the FCC for dismantling net neutrality protections. Those companies include Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Snapchat. The group is criticizing the Federal Communications Commission for failing to preserve a free and open internet. The legal battle is expected to take months before it can be resolved.
It's official. London Breed is running. San Francisco's acting mayor hoping to become the next elected mayor. She filed papers yesterday to get on the special election ballot. She's been acting mayor since Ed Lee died last month. She's also a city supervisor and president of the Board of Supervisors. And well before the June election, fellow supervisors will choose an interim mayor, and it could be London Breed or someone else.
I want the board, my colleagues, to do what they think is best. I've had these conversations with members of the board. Many are torn on what they want to do. And so it's really going to be up to my colleagues to make that decision.
Breed joins this growing field of candidates. You see them on your screen, including former Supervisor Angela Adlioto, City Attorney Dennis Herrera, Supervisor Jane Kim, and former State Senator Mark Leno. The special election is June 5th.
The number of flu deaths in the Bay Area is up to at least 8 this morning. Contra Costa County officials are reporting 4 deaths so far this season. There were 4 more in Santa Clara County. Doctors say this flu season has hit hard.
It came a little bit earlier than last year's, and it looks like it's more severe than last year's as well.
Health officials say this year's strain, called AH3, typically makes people more sick. They say one of the best ways to protect yourself is to get a flu shot.
Someone in Florida is $450 million richer this morning. Last night's numbers for the Mega Millions jackpot were right here on your screen. You'll see the balls drop 70, 59, 30, 28, and 29 with a mega ball of 5. But I guess it doesn't matter because someone else won. The odds of matching those numbers, one in more than 302 million.
Now, someone here in the Bay Area came very close, though. A ticket sold at the 7-Eleven on Gellert Boulevard in Daly City matched 5 numbers. We don't know yet exactly how much that ticket is worth. And if you're still feeling lucky, the drawing for the $570 million Powerball jackpot will take place this evening. Yosemite regulars are angry that a Starbucks is about to open in the national park. The coffee chain would have a location inside the new food court at the Yosemite Lodge. Locals and visitors have launched a change.org petition, which has more than 5,000 signatures. The petition says there is concern the park will lose its essence and will become indistinguishable from a commercial city. The vendor that runs concessions in the park is pushing ahead with the idea despite the petition. Now, California could get even greener than it already is. A proposed bill would require all cars in the state to be electric by the year 2040. So we still have some time. But reporter Lemore Abrams talked to some drivers who are not ready to make this switch.
Nothing revs up Alan Chen more than his 1974 Alfa Romero GTV.
With modern cars, it's just, you don't really feel the roll as much.
But his fancy ride may soon be sidelined as California accelerates its push for an all-electric future.
It's time for bold action in California.
Arnie Sowell of the environmental advocacy group Next Gen America is pushing a bill that bans fossil-fueled cars. By 2040, all new passenger cars sold in the Golden State would be green, free of emissions.
Dirty cars, dirty trucks, dirty school buses actually are the largest emitters of greenhouse gas emissions in California.
This mechanic isn't ready to switch gears quite yet.
It still takes a bunch of emissions to make new cars.
But his partner Frank Fiddler is gearing up for an electric car future.
For one thing, they're much simpler. They don't require transmissions. The components are much fewer. It's just going to get better and better.
The Trump administration is asking for $18 billion over the next decade for the long-promised border wall with Mexico. It is the first detailed financial blueprint for the president's plan. Now, if that work is completed, more than half of the 2,000-mile border with Mexico would have a wall or other physical structure by 2027. California Senator Kamala Harris tweeted, "Using children who grew up in this country as a bargaining chip to pay for an unrealistic border wall is shameful."
Twitter is answering critics who are pressuring the company to block President Trump's account without mentioning the president by name. Twitter said in a blog post, blocking a world leader from Twitter or removing their controversial tweets would hide important information people should be able to see and to debate. Just this week, an activist group in San Francisco put up phrases on Twitter's headquarters using a projector, and they read Trump's dog whistle and "Be a hero, ban Trump."
Before we get going, congratulations to the ladies headed off to the Winter Olympics as a result of the U.S. National Figure Skating Championships at SAP Center completed last night. That team was announced a short while ago this morning. Off to the NFL now. All of the home playoff teams are favored this weekend. Chiefs over Titans, Rams over Falcons later on today, Saints by Panthers, Jaguars over Bills here on KPIX 5 on Sunday.
What you gonna do, Derek? Show me the money!
The Raiders are reportedly going to give John Gruden a 10-year contract worth $100 million to return to Oakland. Yes, his second tour of duty, as the deal would make Gruden the highest-paid coach of the NFL. The team has not made it official yet, but reports say a news conference to introduce Gruden will be held on Tuesday. On the ice, that means a Sharks power play against Ottawa. San Jose and White led 5-2 in the third, but the Senators rallied. Mike Hoffman scored. Tied the game up at 5. It went to overtime. And off the faceoff, looky here. Senators had numbers. 2-on-1. Matt Duchene, we're done here. Ottawa came back to win it, final of 6-5. And this very quickly, out of college basketball, Tara Vanderveer and 24th ranked Stanford against Arizona. Buzzer beater to end the third. Brady McPhee. Dejounte Carrington, excuse me. Stanford ran away and won that one, final of 61-46. Cal lost last night at Arizona State, 80-71. That is sports at this hour. Everybody have a terrific Saturday. I'll see you later on in the day.